So breastfeeding for me was definitely a blessing and a curse. And now that I look back, I can say it was a superpower that I never thought I would even call a superpower now that we're on the other side. So I've had two daughters. I exclusively breastfed both of them. One is now 3.5. The other is 1, and I am weaning her off slowly. But I definitely decided to stay with it because she got sick near the end, and I'll talk a little bit more about that a little later. But I was like, I know I got the antibodies for her, so I kept with it. So this is in no way saying that breastfeeding is better than formula feeding your child. I absolutely feel that you should just make sure your daughter or son or child, whatever, is fed. I think that being a mom, you do what you got to do. And if you look around, could you honestly tell from the person to your left or the person to the right that they were breastfed or formula fed? I, for one, was formula fed. I talked to my mom about it before I made the decision, and she told me I was formula fed. So you wouldn't know that if I hadn't have told you, now would you? So with that, I honestly think that just make sure your child is fed, no matter how that comes. But I chose to breastfeed my children, and that was a decision that I made. So I just wanted to say why I feel like breastfeeding is a superpower. If you stick with it, power to you. Because like I said in the beginning of the video, it is a blessing and a curse. And there are days when you're like, why did I decide to do this? But it is well worth it in the end if you're able to stick it out. So without further ado, I am going to go in reason number 1. So number 1 why I feel breastfeeding is your superpower is you are able to feed on demand. And I never really thought or considered that, it didn't register how much of a blessing that was until I was going to the kitchen one day. I had not thawed out breast milk from my oldest daughter, and she needed her infant oatmeal. You know, you just mix it with water or milk or whatever else. And I literally just hand expressed into the bowl. I'm doing the hand motions, but I hand expressed into the bowl, and I was able to make her cereal right then and there. And looking back, there were a number of times with my second and with my first where we were in a place and I was just able to feed them. I didn't have to mix formula. I didn't have to go somewhere and heat up a bottle, because all I had to do was pop on the nursing cover, which I'll put a link in the bio, and I just popped on the nursing cover and they were ready to eat. So number 1, food on demand. And it is awesome to be able to get food on demand. With that, reason number 2. So reason number 2 that I feel that breastfeeding is a superpower is you are able to burn calories without even having to work out. So doing research, I was told that I would be able to burn calories, and my body would burn calories just because I was breastfeeding. And looking back and doing research and reading, you read different things, but I've read from 200 to 700 calories. But either way, you're going to burn calories. And you don't even have to go to the gym. You don't have to get up and go work out. All you got to do is feed your baby. Feed your baby, you burn calories. So for me, my first child, she was born in July, so I was able to go outside and walk, and I would just make walks around my cul-de-sac and my house at the time. For my second one, that didn't happen as much. And honestly, 2 kids, breastfeeding, trying to maintain a new house, starting a new job. If you want to hear about that, let me know. But I started a new job, or I'll just make a video, put it up here. But working out was not a priority. This whole year that I've had my second child, I probably worked out maybe 8 times. Well, I did attempt to run a 4K. Not a 4K, but a 5K. But either way, sidebar, I didn't work out much. And that was fine. I was like, listen, you do what you got to do. You whatever. But it gave me peace to know I was burning calories. And so that is why it's reason number 2 on my list of why breastfeeding is a superpower. Reason number 3. So last and final, while I feel breastfeeding is a superpower, is that it produces antibodies for your child, or it helps boost their immune system. And that is honestly one of the primary reasons, and I'll put that in another video, I'll post it at the top somewhere, but why I decided to breastfeed in the first place. There are multiple reasons why I feel that breastfeeding was a decision that I had to make. And actually, it won't be, the video that I post won't be why I decided to breastfeed, but more what kept me breastfeeding my child. Because this reason is the only reason why I decided to breastfeed my child, which is it helps with their immune system, which I mentioned earlier. So for me, it was very important coming straight out the gate. I am very risk adverse, that my child had the greatest chance of fighting a sickness if that ever came to be. With my first one, while we were breastfeeding, she got sick and she just stopped eating and she lost a lot of weight, and that was very scary for me. But it did give me peace to know that I was doing everything that I could as a mom to try to help with that immune system. Again, formula fed, breastfed, doesn't matter. You just do what you can to make sure your baby's taken care of. And that's exactly what I did. So knowing that, especially in the first years that my daughter, or the first months that my daughter would not probably have shots and that she would not have antibodies, I decided that I was going to breastfeed. And that is my yes, I was so grateful for it. So that is a super duper duper power that I was able to breastfeed and help her boost her immune system. So that is my last and final one. Your body, like when they latch, it talks something. Their saliva gets into your body says, "Oh, I need to help my baby," and it changes your milk. There are stories out there about how a mom even noticed that her breast milk color changed when her child was sick. So science supported it. I had a story to go with it, or a couple stories out there, and I said, I'm going for it. So I went for it. And like I said in the beginning of the video, I also decided to stay with breastfeeding a little bit longer for my second child because she got sick. And I knew that I could help her with my antibodies. So with that said, those are the 3 reasons why I think breastfeeding is a superpower. If you can do it, great. If you can't, just make sure you take care of your child, and that's all that matters. With that, I will see you on the next one. Thank you. Bye.